Why you should back up your data and how to do it. Check out these quick tips to understand the importance of personal data backup and the main reasons you should do it regularly. The last thing you want to feel is a moment of panic where you lost or thought you lost a lot of really important data, such as a report from work, family vacation pics, or that master's dissertation thesis you spent the whole year working on. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I hope you are doing fantastic today. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. And if you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka. Now let's roll. Today I want to talk to you about why you should back up your personal data and how to do it. Number one, you should back up regularly. Now let's face it, you may have a great computer or external hard drive, but those things one day they're going to wear out and you may lose your data. That's just the nature of hardware, right? Things work and one day they don't work. Now, you might be thinking that your local IT guy or computer repair person might be able to rescue your data, but then again, maybe not. The thing here is that you never know what's really what's going to happen once that data is gone. Sometimes it can be recovered and sometimes it cannot. That's the gamble you take if you don't back up your data, right? Now, unfortunately, nowadays with the advent of the internet, you have gazillions of threats to your data. I'm not even going to start the list here, but that list ranges from Trojan horses to malware to other viruses, you name it. In some cases, those viruses, they will steal your data or even erase it, right? So that's also the threat. You also have the threat of ransomware, like those threats where you're trying to log into your computer and one day somebody's asking you to wire them $1,000 or $2,000 via Bitcoin, right? That's called ransomware. They want a ransom to be able to give you access back to your data, right? So a hacker essentially puts a virus on your computer that encrypts your data, making it useless. So if you pay, the problem here is you may have to pay a ransom in order for the hacker to unencrypt your data. But there is no guarantee that he or she will do so once you send them the money. And again, sometimes or most of the time, they like to have untraceable money, Bitcoin, aka Bitcoin. So, once you get the cash, there's no guarantee that they will unencrypt the data. So if you have a current backup of your data, there is less of a worry. You can just wipe your hard drive and restore it to the latest backup. Number two, you should back up your data smartly. How do you really, because we've been talking about data backup, but how do you actually do it? There are lots of ways to back up your data. Here we're going to look at a few of them, but each way has its own procedure, processes, and frequency. There are some general guidelines, though, when it comes to making a good backup. Now, remember, the storage is cheap, so it makes the most sense to back everything up. You might save a few cents here and there by only storing what you absolutely can't replace, but low cost means most computer users will want to back up everything. Now, cloud storage, which is in the last 5 years has been very popular, especially as companies as prominent as Google and Amazon have entered the market. So cloud storage offers some perks over local storage. Now, local storage, that's your hard drive, right? That's your external drive. That's your USB key. Cloud storage, by contrast, really, they basically store the data over decentralized servers, right? So, and they offer some advantages over local storage. For example, if your house gets burned down by fire or it's flooded, your backup might be lost unless you store your data in the cloud. The more places your data is backed up, the better. Now, you don't have to pick between a locally stored physical backup and backing up in the cloud. You can actually choose both. That's actually a safe bet. Now, Never underestimate the value of having physical copies of things like your bank statements and tax records, right? We did an entire show around 10 financial documents that you should never get rid of. If you get a chance, you might want to double check that video. It's just fantastic, wonderful video that will teach you a lot. So it's always a good idea to keep a file of your most important documents. Besides any digital backups you have, you also want to think about the hard copy ones, right? Like I said, the tax records, your estate taxes, your will, your insurance copies, your insurance policy copies, that kind of stuff. Your documents are likely to be the most important part of your data backup. So you want to take time to organize them. That way, you are confident you've backed up everything you need to. One thing that also is very important to remember is that backing up isn't an all or nothing proposition. Therefore, it is always a great idea, folks, to have a thumb drive or on hand to back recent important documents. So what I'm trying to say here is you need to have a hybrid strategy, a hybrid approach when it comes to backup. So you back maybe once a week, you do everything on the cloud, and then twice a week or every other day you can back up something locally on your thumb drive. All right, you can have as many layers of backup as you want. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We are having a conversation today around why you should back up your data and how to do it. And if you love the clarity and the quality of the content so far, please consider subscribing to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you can be informed whenever we drop a new show, and we do so every single day. Comment below, share your experience, share this video with other people who might need to have that info, and also like this content. Now, choose the best data backup option. There are plenty of options to back up your data. Now, you have to understand it's important and necessary to understand the types of backup and get one that suits your need. In the previous version, I was talking to you more about the process, the steps. Here, I'm talking about the physical equipment. So you have external hard drive. As the name sounds, an external hard drive is connected to the computer or on the outside via cables or wirelessly, right? So examples of external hard drives include USB flash drives and solid state drives, also known as SSDs. External hard drives have some advantages. They're portable, they're capable of storing large files, and they're easy to use, right? In addition, they can be moved from computer to computer, which makes it extremely convenient to transport data. Besides external hard drives, you have cloud backup. We talked about it, with Amazon Web Services. We have Google Drive. We have Microsoft. We have all the big companies. We have Alibaba. Cloud backup allows users to back up their data to hardware that's in a remote location. So if you have your data on the cloud, you can access that data anytime on any device via the internet. Cloud storage makes it easy to manage your data. Most cloud storage services provide a large amount of storage space and encrypt the content for data security. Next, you have flash drives. Now, flash drives are small, portable storage devices used to transfer files from device to device. They're also called pen drives, thumb drives, or jump drives. Unlike cloud drives, flash drives do not come with a large storage quantity, and they do not have any additional security features should your drive be lost or stolen. Another category of option when it comes to data backup is backup services. You have online backup service. That's just the method of data backup and storage, whereby a service provider handles the stored data, right? So this could be convenient for people and businesses as they are able to manage their data better. Most services offer encryption and protect the data from loss caused by technological malfunction or cybercrime. let's now talk about how to pick the best data backup solution. Now, it really depends on you. When it comes to what qualifies as the best data backup solution, that's the one that suits your need. A lot depends on the kind of data you're trying to protect. Cyber thieves can use seemingly unimportant data and patch it together to commit identity theft. So a strong backup strategy can be very important and make a big difference in your online life and give you peace of mind ultimately. So here are a few things you need to pay attention to when choosing a backup system. Again, you have to align all the following criteria with your needs, your business needs or your personal needs, your lifestyle needs, right? So here are the few things you need to look at. Ease of setup. What's the cost, right? How quickly your data can be backed up to speed. The security of your data, very important. The storage space, critical. The ability to restore and recover your data quickly. And mobile and tablet apps to access your data, right? So we live in the mobile era. You want your data backup solution to be aligned, to be in sync with any mobile app. Very critical. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We are still having a conversation about why you should back up your data and how to do it. Here's the last part, and I really appreciate you listening to us for the last 15 minutes. I really appreciate that. And if you love the content, please again consider subscribing to our channel. We're trying to expand the reach of our messages. We believe our shows are very informative and also entertaining, which is why we are the world's largest infotainment show. Number 5, consider doing multiple backups. Now, again, as I said earlier in my introduction, phone can break, laptop can crash. You may have the blue screens of death appears, right? There are a lot of reasons to back up your personal data. Now, it's always a great idea to do it in more than one place. So if you're looking for easy access to your files when you don't have an internet connection, you can store data. You can store your data in a removable device like an external hard drive. Now, if you're looking for an online backup, having a cloud storage strategy can be an effective solution. The bottom line here is that you want to have an offline plus an online data, because both have pros and cons. So that should something happen, if the grid is off, if there is some power outage and you have enough battery, you can still access your data through your the hard drive. And if you have enough battery on your PC, then you can still access the data. So that's very important. The chances of losing all your data, say in a disaster, aren't great, but it's never a bad idea to take precautions, really, should the unthinkable happen, right? You want to think of data backup as insurance, as one of those better safe than sorry precautions, right? It doesn't cost a lot of money. It's relatively inexpensive, and it doesn't take much time. All right, so the cost of going without could be a lot greater. So this is it, folks. We're coming to the end of this conversation, and really appreciate your attention today. Just kind of quickly recap today's show. I spoke to you about why you should back up regularly, how you can back up your data smartly, how to choose the best data backup option, how to pick the best data backup solution, and how to consider and why to consider multiple backups. All right, I will see you next time. And until then, remember, stay marvelous.